let me start off this review showing you something. Just something, hold on a little. Okay, and these are all of my Godzilla VHS tapes that I've collected over the years. Not all of them, but here are a few. Really old. Oh, and King Kong I still have on VHS. As you can tell, I am a big kaiju fan, or at least big Godzilla fan. And trust me when I say I will be making a video talking about the upcoming 2014 Godzilla movie. So excited for that. But that's not what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about Pacific Rim. Pacific Rim takes place in the future, I guess, where kaiju, or fantastical creatures, or monsters as it's translated, I believe, come out of the Pacific Ocean, a portal in the Pacific Ocean, and they wreak havoc upon humanity. In response, the humans create the Jaegers, which are giant robots that are piloted by two humans because the humans need one brain can't function enough, I believe. You need one person's left hemisphere of the brain, another person's right hemisphere of the brain, and then they mind meld together to make one Jaeger work, so they're acting as one. And that's basically the plot of Pacific Rim. And that is how you make a giant robot movie work. And I'll go into more detail. Okay, the characters aren't entirely fleshed out. We know the basics about our main character, whose name escapes me, unfortunately. Hold on. Beckett. The only character I can remember was Mako. Or Mako. We follow our lead character, Beckett, who was a Jaeger pilot until, on one horrible incident, he lost his brother to one of the kaiju. For 5 years, he's been just out of the Jaeger business until he's pulled back in to work on a new project because all these new kaiju are coming out. And along the way, he meets some interesting characters, like this general who, well, actually he knew him before, this general who's kind of like Nick Fury, a partner he makes, a woman named Mako, and two scientists which are kind of the comic relief, and I'll get into that. But where this movie really works is in the action. That's basically the whole reason you want to see this. You want to see kaiju and Jaegers, or robots and monsters, fight. And it's done well. You can clearly see what's going on. It's not shaky cam or anything. You can just clearly see what's going on. And I'm wondering halfway into it, what is it doing that, how is this working, and how did Transformers not work? But I quickly came up with a solution to that. First off, you still have a good balance of robots, monsters, and humans sharing screen time. And when the humans are on screen, they're talking about the Jaegers most of the time, and the kaiju, and sometimes they're actually fighting. You have a little fight sequence that reminds me of Godzilla Final Wars, where you had a mix of that, both humans fighting and monsters fighting. You don't have a lot of human fighting, but still, it's good action. And the characters are likable. They're not idiotic. There's no sexual innuendos. There's no there is a few over-the-top characters, but there's no, like, insultingly over-the-top characters, and there's no stereotypes or anything. And when you're focusing on, you have, like, the fights with the robots and the kaiju, you're focusing on them and not, like, the human characters on the side. That's how it works. That's how you get it to work. You focus on the fighting and not, like, the fighters and not the civilians. And I was pleased to see this. Del Toro did a great job directing it. The visuals are very impressive. My favorite Jaeger in this one was the main Jaeger named Gypsy. No, not that Gypsy. Yes, that's the one. They're really cool designs. I like all of them. There's one that has, I think, 4 arms that's operated by 3 people. There's a retro-looking one that's supposed to be like the first Jaeger. It's operated by 2 Russians. And those characters will kill off pretty quickly, which is kind of disappointing, but whatever. But the main thing that's going to you're probably gonna have to decide is whether or not you like the comic relief characters or not. Which would be the two scientists. There was like a British one, and the only thing I could describe this guy as like a hipster. I don't even know what a hipster is, and for some reason that's the first thing that came to mind. I don't know, but you're either gonna be okay with them or you're gonna hate them. I was okay with them. I actually thought they're not nearly as bad. They're not even bad actually. They're pretty well compared to the comic relief from the Michael Bay Transformers movies. They're tame pretty much. So they're all good. They're good. Again, I liked all of the Jaeger designs. The kaiju designs were okay. Some of them looked similar, but I could see the different designs mostly on the heads, and mostly the heads always had a different shape. Some of them had different other designs, like ones could fly and others could swim. So good. That's all well and good. And the climax is just great. It's a big, exhilarating. I'm not going to give anything away. It's a big, exhilarating rush, and I'm not going to say you can. It is a kind of a predictable movie. Like you have the characters are, to be fair, it's kind of stock. Like you have the character who's out of the program but comes back into it. You have automatically you know who the love interest is. You know the comic relief. You know the pretentious asshole who's in the movie. You have all those stock characters, but to be fair, this is a summer action movie, and that's to be expected. But the characters are pulled off fairly well, and that's basically all I could say about. Did I write anything else? I think that's basically all. Oh, Ron Perlman, I think Ron Perlman steals the show. Who's like this black market dealer who has these gold shoes. I forgot his character's name is Hannibal. I forgot what his last name was, but he did base it off Hannibal Lecter, I think, the first name, and it's so cool seeing Perlman do this character. It's so great. He has like these gold shoes and this kind of over the top outfit. Yes, that's kind of similar to the over the top flamboyant gay character in Transformers: Dark of the Moon, but I feel like this character has more of a purpose, because he's the one who helps the scientists get a kaiju brain, which is kind of crucial to the plot. So, I was very impressed with this movie. Going in, I didn't really know what to think. There are things you can nitpick, like why couldn't they just destroy because they're coming through a portal and they decide they can destroy the bridge that the kaiju are coming out of. You could ask why didn't they destroy the bridge earlier? But then again, I counter-argued that they maybe didn't have the technology, or they didn't know that much of the kaiju before. But I was in for a great surprise. The title, although I don't really like the title, I think it's okay. I don't know what else they could have used, but Pacific Rim is loads of fun. It has great action, great visuals, good acting, and it's a ton of fun to watch. This is one of those films where it doesn't take you it's not making you feel like an idiot or insults your intelligence like Transformers does. It's a lot more fun, a lot more serious, and it has more of a payoff than the Transformers movie did. And with all the disappointments I've seen this summer, Iron Man 3, Man of Steel, although I like Star Trek, it wasn't as good as I was hoping for it to be. This one is probably my favorite summer movie so far. So, take that for what it's worth. I will be talking about the upcoming Godzilla movie, so stay tuned for that. Pacific Rim, you're going to be impressed with this, I'm giving 4.5 kaijus out of 5. This is so far my favorite. This has made up the whole summer for me, so go see this movie. This is the robot movie you all deserve to see. Until then, this is O.M.M. signing out.